It's Pioneer Field Agronomist Scott Eversgard with a week of May 14th agronomy update. Probably the biggest thing happening in the fields right now besides planting would be the wheat pollination period, which is the timing as we look at making fungicide applications to suppress or try and control Fusarium head scab. Probably the positive is we've seen a lot of wheat go ahead and flower this weekend, moving into the early part of this week. The great thing about that is with the dry conditions we've had, that wheat should be at a pretty low level of incidence of head scab. As we look at some of the fuller season varieties, fields that haven't pollinated yet, as we move towards the beginning of this week and into the middle and into the week, looks like chance of rain kind of comes back into the forecast beginning Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. If we would get some moisture back in the air, those fields would definitely see a higher probability of seeing Fusarium head scab. Again, the timing is going to be at that 10.5.1, right when you're seeing anthers coming out in the middle of the head. Once you see that and the average head is there, you're looking at that process taking around 3 to 5 days in the average field. So a fairly tight window to try and get that application of fungicide made, probably around a 2-day window, possibly a 3-day window to get that done. From a corn standpoint, a lot of corn going in the ground the last few days. Some of the earliest corn that got planted is now up. Stands actually looking pretty good. If you did not make applications of herbicides at planting, now would be a good time to come back in an early post scenario and go ahead and clean those fields up and get some good residuals out there. As I'm sure you noticed, some annual grass starting to come up already. I suspect water hemp, with the first next shower rain we get, will become blowing through. Already seeing giant ragweed. So a lot of weeds coming in the cornfields. So if you don't have anything out there, definitely be on guard to get those fields sprayed as soon as possible. From a soybean standpoint, again, a lot of beans going in the ground. What the neat thing is, the beans I saw go in the ground maybe as late as Tuesday last week were right at the surface on Saturday. So you're looking at 4 to 5 days beans coming out of the ground, which is a pretty neat thing, as well as the corn coming up in about 5 to 7 days as well. So when we get warm temperatures, we get good conditions. It is really neat to see how these crops can come out of the ground and really take off and grow. But again, just as with the corn fields, be watching these soybean fields as the beans come up. If you don't have a strong residual out there, the weeds are going to be coming right with them. So make sure you're staying on top of that, whether you're using any of the herbicide programs out there, whether that be Liberty or Extend or straight glyphosate or even conventional beans. Stay on top of those weeds and make sure you're killing small weeds. As always, if you have any questions, please contact your local Pioneer rep. Thanks.